In this very quick video, I will show you how we can actually create a profile like this baseboard or the trim around the door completely via paths. And there's an interesting advantage to that process. Okay, so we need to have a path first. So what we'll do is all that goes. Very good. Also here, studio space, the wall, let's hide. I only want to have here this wall so I can see it. Okay, good. Shift A, make a plane. I move this plane up, point select, and I snap it onto this corner on top of this object. Then G and X, bring this to there. This one here, snap to there. Snap to there. Be careful that you snap to the top point. E and Y, snap, E and Y, snap, E and Y, snap, E and X, snap, E and X, no, Y, snap, E and X, snap, and then here, this one, delete edge, delete edge. Okay, now we have these lines. Okay, so I drew these lines really fast. Because what we can do is when we go to object mode and then object menu convert, we can convert the mesh to a curve. When I go into edit mode, there you see we have, well, it looks like the same, but this is actually a vector curve now. And we want inside here, turn this into 2D. That is important. Okay. Let's go to the top view and then Shift A, make a plane. Let's see how we will do this. So X we will say should be maybe 10 centimeters and Y is 1.5 centimeters. Okay, let's say 2 centimeters. Just for reference. Move this one to here. Very good. Okay, so this is kind of like our different version of a baseboard. And in one video, I showed how we can create this baseboard. And so we created a profile with a polygon approach, and then we put a curve in. Let's build this whole thing via curves, and then we will run it across the spline we created. This mesh here, which I created, we will call this baseboard rail or path. Let's call this path because that's technically speaking what this thing is doing. All this we can hide. Bring this a little bit to there. Very good. Now Shift S, cursor to selected, and then Shift A, curve, and here we have Bezier, NURBS, etc. So let's go with Bezier first. Go into edit mode, and then we set the curve to, can for example go polygon or Bezier, NURBS. If we go polygon, by the way, you see then this is perfectly just a line, no? And let's go to here, so this view, and move this one up. So you see I can make this into a 3D curve. If I click this 2D flop, it is truly a 2D curve. This object was created from the top. It has no rotation. If I rotate this, RX, go into edit mode, I can't move this up, but I can slide it. So this actually pretty much behaves like the sketches in Fusion, which are two-dimensional too. Okay. So in object mode, let's set this back to 0. We go to top view, go into edit mode. And when we now set this to automatic or aligned, you see nothing is happening. And that is because via this polygon, we set this curve really to be just made out of linear line segments. And this is kind of useful because we can very quickly block something out. There, all this we delete, and then the end we actually say toggle cyclic. That actually then closes the piece. Okay, so this rectangle here, let's delete. Why isn't this closed? There, now it is. You see that. Okay, so top view, I wanna put, I don't know yet. So we want to move this center point kind of like let's say where my cursor is, and that should then be, this line should be running across the wall. So let's call this is our baseboard profile. Then we can select our baseboard, go down to geometry. They call this bevel, and this is kind of unfortunate because this is more a sweep command. So object, and we select this one. Cool. Okay, so you see what's happening, how this is being run across the this rail. So this is a little bit too high. Let's move this one down so it's easier to see what we are actually doing. Also nicely, because you see in here we have just segments with open elements in there. It creates extrusions just along these segments, kind of nice. There are openings. We can actually fill cap. Now this is closed. Pretty cool. So now everything we have to do is figure out. So here's the center point of my rail, which means if I show my wall there now, it is completely running through it. Not good. So let's see, where is the bottom? Oh, there is the bottom. So this is actually the bottom. Okay. Left and right, where is this? Is it this maybe? Yeah, possible. Okay, so at this point, Shift S cursor to select it, and then in object mode, right click, origin to 3D cursor. Yep. Cool. Okay, so now the baseboard runs correctly, or this profile runs correctly along the path. Sometimes, actually, we can see here it does not. Okay, so let's fix this. U, and this one here too. There we just need to switch the direction. That was it. Because this is a line, think about it like a roller coaster at a theme park. Once upon a time we were able to go to there. You have two tracks onto which the card runs down. Now if you have only one track, how do you make sure the card should go horizontal down? So now this is kind of like the issue we see here, which is also why we have this I'll say that correctly. Well, we switch the direction because this kind of like does this a little bit. Okay, very good. So now, oh, what's going on here? Notice that this is actually not clean. Ship. There, very good. So then also here, because this is all path-based, it also snaps to geometry. That's pretty cool. Now I would like this baseboard, instead of being along the floor, be vertical. So I have my 3D cursor there. So I can go to this, A, R, and Z. Okay, good. So this works. So this is minus 90 degrees, but now we can see it's inside the wall. So this is actually our center point. There. Pretty nice. Okay, this one is too short. Oh, by the way, shouldn't really say this is too short because there will be also the door trim. So this goes back a little bit. This goes even a little bit further. Pretty cool. So now you see the nice thing about this process working with splines is it is fully, I don't want to say parametric, but yeah, I can adjust everything here. Our previous baseboard here, we will call this baseboard mesh, and then we just hide it. I just want to work with this new baseboard. Shift D, make a copy, bring this over. So I have a copy. And now I can have a little bit of fun. What about I select these lines, subdivide, and then I will switch this now to here, bring this up. Okay. This whole object I move closer to there so I can see our baseboard. Bring this down, snap, bring this over, snap. Look, there we have a step. Cool. Shift D here, make a copy. Well, maybe I will do something like this. So these points I select, subdivide. Then this one goes a little bit to there, a little bit to there. And this one here we delete. Okay, well, we don't see any update. Well, because this is a different profile. But we can very easily swap this profile out. There. Or show me this one. Yeah. Also cool. Select this one more time. Shift D. Let's make a copy. And these two we will say V and aligned. Well, nothing happens. Okay, so in edit mode, we have to change this back to Bezier. Cool. Now, so you see all the handles are lined up correctly. And if I go now and move this one out, and here's the handle, move this one out. There you see how I can give a little bit of curvature to this part. And then there, show me how this one looks. Oh, wrong interface. There. Shade smooth, and then we get this artifact here. Let's add the edge split. Yeah. No, maybe this result is a tick too much. I can RY and 90, rotate this a little bit so I can see this more from the side, and then play with this and in real time see how everything what I'm doing is actually creating an update. Yeah, very nice. So maybe here you snap to there, this one snap to there, go lower in, maybe there, this a little bit out. What is this one? Oh, this is the handle. Okay. Very good. Okay, so very, very easy to use, as you can see. In my case, the only thing I have left to do, and it's basically the same then for you, we would have to make sure that these pieces are close, but nicely again, because this is just an architecture model. We don't have to be precise to a millimeter. They are gaps. These gaps make architecture models actually look, that's correct, more believable, because otherwise it's computer aided design generated. Here we have now the the gap for the wall system to go in. So how we do this now? We can, we'll do it this way. Subdivide. And subdivide. So when I select this point and delete, you see it just removes the point. If I select these two elements and delete segment, look, it actually cuts the curve apart. You see that? Pretty cool. I'll delete this point, and then here also all this I can just delete and remove. And here this one now we bring closer to there, snap to there. Very good. Yeah. Okay, very nice. A little bit of housekeeping. I will make 1-year collection baseboard, and then all this goes in there. Now let's put this one to there. Very good. And maybe here in baseboards we do templates. It says no templates 001 because I have other templates already. So that's just the reason. Oops, wrong collection there. Zack, zack, zack. Oh, yeah, better. Very nice. So last thing what I want to show is, so this is actually a curve object, no? And we can also convert a curve to a mesh. So then we just simply select the mesh command. Yeah, and there's now my mesh geometry, where then I could go ahead and, for example, select individual faces to give specific materials to it. So geometry I can convert to, or ideally edges I can convert to curves, and curves or surfaces I can then convert back also to mesh lines or mesh surfaces. That's all.